Hello and welcome to Rapid Pixel Racing GP2 Season 8, our season opener. And Frenzy's immediately done his normal, retired in the pits. We need to add the Frenzy rule into this league, I think.
I like that.
It was blatantly done for Frenzy because he will just retire in the pits and then work his way through the field and be almost guaranteed driver of the day by the game. Dry all the way. Thank you, James. So as we are starting a new season, I better just let you know the team layout. So Johnny Stokes, as our reigning drivers champion, opted to stay in the Aston Martin, but he did decide to kick out his former teammate of DXT Lulu and replace him with the more reliable and faster DXT James Out. DXT Moyland has a new teammate this season in the McLaren. He is now paired with his nemesis from last season of Lister. I think that is purely done so he doesn't spend 90% of the race looking at Lister's rear wing. Womax and Lulu. Oh, there's humming. Hang on, that's because of that. Hopefully the humming's gone now, James. Womax and Lulu are in the Mercedes. Decky and Night Sniper, who's making his full-time driver's seat return, are in the Red Bull. Venom and UK Demon have taken the Ferrari. Zodak and Mrs. Carl have paired up in the Haas. Frenzy and Hobo are in the Alpha Tauri. Almighty Evan and Kyle are in Alfa Romeo. Pedro and Ashwin in the Williams, and Speedy and RJS in the Alpine. Now I should have put the calendar on flash, but I forgot to. So tonight we're at Silverstone and it is a sprint, so it's only short qualifying, and then we'll be into a 9-lap sprint and a 26-lap feature race. So I expect qualifying to be rather busy. Anyone actually started a lap? Yes, Island Boy, or I'll still call him Island Boy, but it's Kyle, is on a hot lap, just making his way through Brooklands, coming onto the old pit straight, heading towards Cops. Craig saying there's still humming. Not Craig, sorry. James saying there's still humming.
Well, it's in the call. It stopped when you did whatever you did. Through.
Yeah, I unplugged the controller because I've got the controller on charge, which I know is a known thing for causing humming. And the bloody I need to sort all my setup out to sort these audio bugs out. When we're doing tandem, I think we'll do it through Discord, and I'll do away with using this chat cable for the audio because it's a pain in the arse and there's cables everywhere. So Kyle's done a 28.9 to take provisional pole, being the only one to set a lap at the moment.
I believe the next person that will come across will be Lister, followed by Mrs. Cole.
Does a 28.3. Where is Mrs. Cole on my list?
She's coming down the list straight now. 29.8.
Not a bad first lap. Alpine next is going to be... No, it's not hard. Yes, it's Agrupo. That's how I'm going to go with the pronunciation for that one. 27.7.
Oh, where did that come from?
Great time from Agrupa, laying down the gauntlet early. So RJS does a 28.9 to drop into 4th, as Johnny Stokes does a 28.1.
Johnny Stokes.
So 4/10 to find for Connie, as I think Moyland is just behind Connie as Connie pulls off. Don't go too far off track to let him through though. Not through that section, because you'll end up getting disqualified. Because we all know how great Codemasters programming is.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
So we'll stay with Moyland as he is making his way through Brooklands. And I've forgotten that corner name. Club. Oh, I'll remember walking past that stand. It's Luffield. Brooklands and Luffield, that's the one. So now heading up and into Beckett's. Coming out of Chapel onto the Hanger Straight. So 1040 through Sector 2. So in purple Sector 2 on my screen. Stowe, now towards Vale, through the final corner onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton Straight, a 28.0.
P2.
Still a few tenths to find, but has he gone for a race setup rather than a quali setup?
Time shelter. Hobo, I think, is going to be the next.
No, I just told Hobo what car he's in and I can't even find it. There he is. Oh, he's invalidated this lap. Night Sniper very nearly invalidating as he went through cops.
He had a spin coming out of the final corner onto the home straight on his outlap.
So that time's not going to be competitive. Andreas staying in the pits at the minute. James out on track, coming into the pits. Evan first making his way through cops. No ERS deployment at the minute though.
Oh. James chose to pit rather than
his lap time as he entered the pits was 1:21, so he wasn't on a hot lap. I'm guessing he must have had an issue during that lap.
oh, he lost to 3 Beckett's.
Ashwin a 1040 through sector 2 as he comes down the Hanger Straight through the long right hander. He's got Mercedes just in front that's pulled off into the pits, so would have given him a nice tow down the straight. Coming round the final corner, keeping it tidy, a 27.9 from Ashwin. He's showing his pace this season. His car looks like it's jumping all over the track though. Got on track, RKS letting people through. This is Carl's invalidated. See, his night sniper comes through.
Oh. Did he invalidate there?
Doesn't look like he's invalidated, but he's down on his time. not deploying ERS, so this isn't a full push lap from Night Sniper. Evan coming into the pits. Scott is invalidated.
That was who I was actually I was on board with Scotty.
Andreas invalidates through cops. Hobo's on an out lap. James just coming round to start another lap. Because you can't carry any of the tyres from quali into the sprint. It'll be interesting to see what their tyre choices are.
It's weird, isn't it? What do you think about the current quali situation in F1? See, I really used to like the idea of the Q2 tyre being the tyre you start the race on, because for me it actually added some form of strategy.
Gives the lower midfield teams more of an option to chuck on a set of softs, get into Q3, and then take that gamble in the race.
Yeah, but then also, obviously, so we'll take Mercedes last season, who were off the pace quite severely to the rest at the beginning of the season. And what was Hamilton and George? Where did they quali in Bahrain at the beginning of last season?
Oh, I can't remember. I know they didn't quali great, but they made it up in the race.
Made up in the race, didn't they? Obviously, it might be a slightly bad example, because I can say the people outside of the top 10 on the old system, they would have the chance of a potential one-stop race.
James does a 28.5 to take 6th. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Compared to the two-stop, which you're almost guaranteed to have to do if you start on softs.
Grupo improved to a 27.4 as Andreas does a 27.2.
I tell you what, with these times, with those new like competitive drivers, it's gonna be an interesting season if this one race is going to be anything to go off.
It is, but as their reserves, we've changed the way the scoring's done. So,
who's the reserve drivers out of
Andreas,
the
a Grupo, Scotty's a reserve, and Womax is a reserve. I think sorry, Womax
right, okay,
is
so
a full-time driver. It's not.
Womax is full-time. But so 2 of the top 6.
6.
3 of the top 6, because Scotty.
So they will accrue drivers' points, and they will be recorded, but they won't pick up the constructors' points. So it's done basically to try and get people to stay committed as a full-time driver. Because if this were last season,
should we just call this the Lulu rule?
But if this were last season and Andreas or a group who went on and won, those points would go to that constructor, and it can affect it has affected the constructor standings in GP1 and GP2. So we've decided until they take a full-time seat, if one were to become available, their points won't count to constructors.
Oh, really, James?
But then when they take a full-time seat, points accrued before that will count for the drivers but not constructors. So I'm just...
Yeah, so they'll only start scoring constructors points the moment they're full-time drivers. I think that's a a decent way to do it.
I'm just seeing James's thing on the chat. Next year's quali rules change a lot. They do, but only for 2 races. They're trialing Q1. You've got to run hards. Q2 mediums. Q3 softs. But that's only at 2 tracks, and it's going to be 2 sprint race tracks, and they've not said which ones yet.
So, see, I don't see as that's going to change the outcome of anything either. Because, like I say, the the big advantage you had out of finishing outside of the top 10 was pick of tyre.
They've done it. Their reasoning behind it is environmental, carbon neutral. They've got to take less tyres to those races.
Yeah.
This whole eco. It's Formula One.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Because obviously it's the whole save the planet thing. But
Moylan's jumped up into 3rd with the 27.4. He's only 500ths off of Agrupo. Evan in the 27s as well. Stokes into the 27s. Ashwin in the 27s. So the top 6 all in the 127s.
so who's? Oh, Evan's gone in there. That's the one that's gone in and pushed Scotty out of the top 6.
That's Womax making his way through turn 15. I'd much prefer him to run the old layout there. So Womax takes 3/10 off and jumps up into 11th place.
Lister's decided that either that's all he's got, or
no, wrong button. That one. That's what I wanted. Oh, why? I hate the way the game does that. Incidents. Yeah, Lister has called it. He's retired in the pits. I was just checking on Race Director to see if he'd had an incident and put it in a wall. So, Andreas currently on provisional pole. See what his split is as he comes through Maggots and Beckett's. Keeping it within limits. It's 2/10 up. He's going to be pushing for a 126 at this rate. If he can improve in sector 3, I think Agrupo's next on track behind him. Got a yellow on the entry to Maggots. Coming through the final corner now. I swear his club. A 27-0.
27.
Agrupo bails.
Agrupo.
Moylan's in the pits. Evans in the pits. Johnny Stokes.
Coming out of Beckett's.
Sorry, a 10th down even. So he needs to find a blister in sector 3. Or it's not going to be improving. It's not bailing on it though. Can he find it in sector 3 to jump up the order? Through the final corner now. He did find a 10th in the final sector, but doesn't improve and stays in 5th. His teammate in 6th, just behind, only 9 thousandths off his time as well.
And that is it.
That Aston Martin pairing's going to be a strong one this season.
It's gonna be. It's gonna have its cut out against the McLarens as well, though.
Right, must remember, need to take screenshots. says as he completely forgets what he was doing.
Screenshots.
For the results. So there we go. I'm running you through the starting order for the sprint race. Andreas will be on pole and does get the pole point. Agrupo in second, Moyland in third, Evan in fourth, Connie Stokes in fifth, James Out in sixth, Ashwin seventh, Scotty eighth, Hobo ninth, Lister 10th, Rumax 11th, Kyle RJS, Mrs. Carl, Zodak, Night Sniper, and Frenzy will take 17th.
So there is one. I don't remember the layouts for sprint races. Is it? There's a point for quali.
It's 8 points for first, and then it works down to 8th place, dropping a point. So 8 points down to 1 for the top 8.
Yeah. Is there a point for pole position for quali, or is it?
It's for actual quali. So Andreas gets the point for pole.
So Andreas gets a point for that.
And then the fastest lap point is only for the main race.
For the feature. Yeah.
So waiting for everyone to do their strategies before the first formation lap.
So what are we saying? Get early predictions out.
Andreas for the win. Moyland for second. Johnny Stokes in third. So everyone going for the medium. Which surprises me because I swear Frenzy normally starts a sprint on the soft.
And it's only 9 laps as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can nurse the soft round 9 lap. That won't be pretty at the end, but if you can,
isn't it? Cause what do you reckon? Do you reckon you get what, 6, 7 competitive laps?
I think 6 on this tyre model. But if there's a safety car, that will save you a few. It's how far you can take that tyre advantage through the order and then defend it.
That's it, isn't it? Because obviously with the battling, that's not going to help.
So no compulsory pit stop during the sprint. Alfa Romeo looks really nice.
Oh, Andreas spun.
And now causing a little bit of carnage. Well, not carnage, but chaos behind. Agrupo didn't park.
Agrupo.
Everyone else seeming to park up alright. Frenzy.
Apart from
3
Frenzy.
lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Held for a long while there. Are we going to move? There we go, they get away.
And they're away.
So the first sprint of the season. Moyland straight on the attack, trying to find his way past Agrupo into turn 1. Coming now in towards the loop. Evan and Johnny battling side by side as they come onto the Wellington Straight for the first time. Everyone holding position. Ashwin James Al dropping down the order as that Hobo causing
Oh, Lister.
Lister get caught up in that. I saw Hobo go round.
Yeah, Lister
Hobo,
right down to
you've cooked your rear
16th.
tyres. Calm it down. Steady on those rears. Lister past Frenzy now, so up into 15th. Change that detail. 2 positions. So the top 3 holding on to their start position. Johnny Stokes up 1 into 4th. Evans dropped down 1, currently sitting in 5th. Ashwin and Scotty both up 1 place. James Al dropping 2 places off the start there. Womack's up 2. Mrs. Cole up 4 places, but under attack from RJS. So RJS picks up a
Got a corner cut.
and lost a wing and is past the pit entry, so that's going to hurt RJS. He's going to have to go the whole lap with no front wing, as there's a Red Bull round.
Right.
Luckily it's not killed RJS, but it's certainly slowed his progress. And Night Sniper's now carrying floor damage, as well as that 5-second penalty for being sideways across the track. So Andreas has opened up a second gap over Grupo. Moyland holding on 7/10 back in 3rd place, running wide through the exit of Cops. Connie Stokes is right on the back of Moyland. Ashwin putting pressure on Evan as well as they make their way down the Hanger Straight. Scotty
And Night Sniper is off again.
Moyland's had a moment. Moyland's down into 8th place now. Coming through turn 15. I can't think if that's... Is that Stowe or is that Vale? I can never remember the corner names. I remember them, but I don't remember which corner they actually are.
I think it's Vale, because isn't Stowe the fast right-hander for Beckett's?
That's Cops. I know Stowe's down...
I can never remember
I think it's Stowe the right-hander and then Vale's the chicane and then it's into club.
Well, that...
So Andreas 2.5
That's not
out
been a
in
good...
front. Connie Stokes.
Not been a good start for the McLarens.
Lister's recovering well though. He's up into 11th and just need to push to try and recover as much ground as possible. Moyland right on the back of James out as he picks up 3 seconds, gets the DRS on James, pulls to the inside as they come. I swear that's Stowe, because that's the Stowe buildings. So this has got to be Vale. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with this is Vale. Through club. And on to the straight. So Moyland back up into 7th place. But with that penalty, he needs to try and break that gap to James behind. Johnny's still holding on to the back of a Grupo. Evan and Ashwin holding on as well.
Oh, Frenzy's round and Zodak's round.
Zodak having very hot tyres. Frenzy not sharing his data.
So 6 of the grid currently picking up penalties.
Yeah, and in a sprint race, that's gonna possibly hurt. So everyone bar Night Sniper's on 3 seconds. As
Oh, there's
Scotty
another
gets
2.
his 3 seconds.
And Lister.
So as it stands, James would jump up into 6th place. As Lister makes his way past Mrs. Cole, so Lister now up into 10th place and trying to close in on Womax.
Yellow flags in sector
That
2.
I think is Night Sniper. RJS is he had that mad in, he had to get a new wing, so he's gone for the soft tyre again.
Night Sniper round again.
Those
tyres
rears
must be
are very hot. He's carrying floor damage as well. That's going to make the car horrible. As we've got Moyland round again on the exit of the loop.
Oh, and a 10-second penalty.
I bet that chucked him across the grass. And the game's just done it. Well, at least it only did a 10-second.
Yeah.
It's disqualified me for going across there.
He got a... See, I've had the same thing of that at Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil's notorious for it. They go off in the wrong place and it'll just...
Yeah. Well, ironically, what I did is I put the power down too early out of the final corner, and I spun
to the infield.
And I to the infield, but come back on the track further back. So I got disqualified for a corner cutting
backwards
when I actually drove backwards.
Yeah, as you go up that hill at Brazil, if it spins you to the inside, it auto resets you to track as well, which can drop you straight in front of someone, which has happened to me a couple of times. Scotty,
Evan, was that?
That is, Evans dropped down into 6. Scotty on the attack against Ashwin. He'll have the DRS. Can't make anything as they come into Brooklands. Now the right-hander of Luffield. Onto the old pit straight.
Can't work out, but I think Ash is he blinking?
He looks a bit.
Yeah. No. ERS light.
His ERS is on. He's down to 8%.
Yeah. Oh.
Scotty on 25%. A lot of them are looking a bit clumpy.
Goes for makes the pass.
It is a Moyland kind of day, McDuckface.
Does he make it stick?
Camera. I've got an on-board shot rather than a spectator view. Scotty has got the move done. Evan right on the back of this as well. Lister now sitting in 9th place, 1 place away from points. Scotty needs to try and push in these last couple of laps and open this gap up, or he's going to drop down the order with that penalty he's carrying. Moyland's going to drop 14th, I think Moyland will be at the moment. So that currently 20 seconds off the back of Hobo. So Andreas has just driven away at the front of this pack.
Yeah, it's not really been phased by much, has he?
Grupu, Johnny's still on the back of him. He's held that gap about the same the whole race through. Not really able to close up down, even with the DRS down the hanger straight.
Oh.
No.
I was on board with Ashwin then, and he had a big lag spike or something where he looked like he went past Evan and then he glitched back behind him.
When you said he was blinking earlier, I thought you meant his car looked to be chittering around on track.
Well, I imagine it. Oh, hello, and he's now. I mean, I'm on board with him. He's retired on track.
It's just driven him off, and he's dropped out the session.
Yeah, I mean,
his connections looked bad. I guess it's unusual for a connection drop to cause a DNF, as in when the connection drops out, it doesn't normally retire on track. It normally just chucks the AI in the car.
Well, he didn't leave until he didn't. He left after the DNF.
Ping him an invite. It's not even showing us online now, so I wonder if his connection has proper gone.
Oh, Scotty's had a spin, dropping down to P8.
So Andreas out in front, starting the final lap. Agrippou in second, still under pressure from Johnny. Evan in fourth. James Al sitting nicely in fifth with a comfortable gap back to Lister in sixth. Rumax in seventh as Scotty now picked up another 3 seconds.
Oh, and Moylan picking up another 3.
So Scotty in 8th, Mrs. Carl in 9th, Carl in 10th, Frenzy in 11th. Frenzy in quite a good position with these penalties. Moyland in 12th.
That's what I was just trying to work that
Hobo
out.
in 13th, Zodak in 14th as Frenzy makes the move on Kyle and takes 10th place. He's 1.6, 2.8, 3.3. Frenzy could well jump up into...
I think he might jump to P6.
Ashwin
Scotty's
is
out.
currently restarting his PS.
What happened to Scotty?
He's lost it through Maggots and Beckett's by the looks of where his car's stopped on track. I get a feeling it's going to be... that's Ashwin back in, so he'll be able to take part in the feature race.
Frenzy only up to 8th.
Lister scraping through with the penalties there to take 7th. So Andreas takes a win, Agrippou in 2nd, Johnny Stokes in 3rd, Evan in 4th, James Owl up into 5th, Womax in 6th, Lister 7th, Frenzy takes 8th and the final point for the sprint. It's Kyle, Mrs. Carl, Hobo, Moylan down in 12th, Zodak in 13th, RJS will pick up 14th, Scotty DNF'd, and Night Sniper takes 16th, a lap down. So we'll be hoping for a better race next time around. Really have run out of beer. I'll keep looking because there's an empty box in the fridge. It keeps catching the corner of my eye. So Frenzy gets the driver of the day for starting last, jumping up into 8th. Get the results. Screenshot. Oh god, yeah, with all those penalties as well. Hobo moaning at James on Discord. James not a clue what he's supposed to have done.
James never has a clue what he's done.
Why do I not get the alert when I get a new follow? Thank you, Phoenix, for the follow. I'm getting close. I think that puts me on 40. I'm only 10 away.
39, I think it might. Let me refresh that. 39.
11 away from affiliate.
11 away to,
Getting there slowly but steadily. On first lap when you went wide, I followed you as you were coming back to the track. You knocked me back across the track like a Wimbledon backhand. Oh, that's Hobo and James's incident, lap 1.
Ah.
So here we are then, the feature race. Let's put that on. Let's see what tyres they've gone for. Andreas going for the hard. Agrupa and Johnny on the mediums. Evan and James on the hard. Womax through to Carl down in 9th on the medium. Mrs. Cole going hard. Hobo medium. Moyland, Zodak, RJS and Scotty on the hard. Night Sniper and Ashwin on the medium. So hopefully Ashwin's connection is stable this time around.
See, with 26 laps, how many laps do you reckon the mediums would do?
If I remember from Monday, 12 and they were dead. Yeah.
They're dead after 12.
I think Monday's race in GP1. Yeah, I pitted lap 13. I got to about the halfway point and swapped over. A few people had pitted lap 10, I think was the earliest stop from the mediums.
That's crazy.
But because the hards are so cold when you come out of the pits, the undercut isn't as strong at Silverstone. So I managed to jump a couple of places Monday. And then probably lost them at the end because I picked up penalties. So I crossed the line 7th, but with the penalties ended up down in 9th. Still picked up a couple. As I swear he does that on purpose.
Goes round again. I think he does as well. To put heat in the tyres.
He did it in the previous race.
In the previous race, and he's now stopped.
He has actually
which has disqualified Johnny Stokes. Caused all sorts of problems.
He did get his tyres warm up. There's lights out and I can hear them, and now they move on my screen. Gotta love this guy. So,
what a start.
Getting the jump on Andreas there.
From Womack's got the jump on James and Evan.
Ashwin and Night Sniper coming together. Ashwin picking up a 5-second penalty there. Johnny Stokes battling with Andreas as they come round the loop onto the Wellington straight now. Andreas on those hard tyres is going to be under pressure from Johnny on the medium. Let's see if Ashwin's lost his front wing.
Oh, Moylan's had a. I think he came together with Frenzy there, which put him off into the gravel.
Let's drop Moyland all the way down into 16th place. Lister up into 5th. Just getting past James Howe, coming through Cops as they now make their way through Maggots and Beckett's. Connie Stokes still all over the back of Andreas. He'll be wanting to get this move done on the faster tyre.
Yeah.
Lister now past Womack as well, up
Lister.
into 4th place.
This is just much stronger.
Great recovery from Lister after his nightmare start to the sprint.
Oh. Well, I've obviously got a glitch because according to my
Moylan's.
my screen, I've got Andreas apparently is a minute and a half.
Oh, you got the timing glitch. Yeah, love that. Moylan's back end is looking a right handful as he came round the final corner. But he said that Monday he was having trouble. He'd touch that outside curb on the final corner and it'd throw the car all over the place. It did.
Night Sniper has pit and come out on the softs.
Ashwin swapped into the hard. Scott is on the medium as they come out of the pits.
Did you catch what happened with Scotty? What did he have to pit for?
Wrong button. That one. Oh, race director, why don't you come straight up? He got caught up in the collision with Night Sniper and Ashwin.
Scotty's round at.
Hello. Go back. Oh, seriously, you've got to be having a laugh. I can't get out the race director.
Oh, Moylan's round again.
I really can't get out the race director. I'm stuck just looking at the results from the race.
Oh.
Seriously, no, I'm the flaming host.
I wasn't going to suggest leaving.
Hang on, can I do that? There we go. So I'll get no audio, but
it does.
at least I can. Oh, that's it.
Okay.
I've got audio now, so you are in control. So it's
Johnny and Lister are having a
wheel to wheel through the
battle.
final corner. Johnny backing out on his Lister running his low downforce setup again. He seems to love. At least I don't have to press any buttons now.
I know, right? It's all on me now. Oh, sectors 1, 2 and 3.
So is that VSC? No, it's swapped it now only to sector 1.
I was wondering.
If we go to that, open that up.
So I think this is going to be the closest battle, right? With Johnny and Lister. Unless you think Andreas would get enough on the DRS.
He's starting to clear that Scotty out of the session.
making a move on James.
He's under pressure from Hobo. Bit of contact
And
there between
Hobo
the pair.
getting involved.
Keeping an eye on that gap.
Come on board here while they come out to the DRS.
He's got the DRS. He is closing, but
It just doesn't. I mean, I know he's on a different strategy and a slower tide. He just doesn't get the enough. He starts to pull him in and then runs out of road.
James behind Rumax as we come into Cops, drops it down into 7th, and into Maggots and Beckett's now. Great bit of track if you can get the line right.
Yeah, I mean, no.
I think the wear on the medium and the hard's fairly similar.
I think this is one of the tracks where if you do the hard to medium, you come out on the mediums and you go, oh my god, they're awful, I want back on the hards. Whereas if you're on the mediums and you switch to the hards, once they're warm,
Still pop up. That's broke.
it's going to be a
James up the
it's
inside
got no.
into Brooklands.
Does Hobo follow? No, he doesn't.
Is Hobo going to line it up for down the hanger straight? No, because that's Evan through up the inside of Hobo.
Oh, 62 flags, one at the 4.
Put the track map on. I'll be able to see which, or see the colour of the car that's round and work it out. There's James.
Still didn't
7
quite
past
enough.
Rumax. So the Aston Martin running 4th and 5th. Lister holding on to 3rd place at the minute, and Preyas holding on to a group who
Yeah, he's slowly, very, very slowly, he is reeling him in.
as the mediums start dropping off. Might as well close that
Hobo
switch.
makes the move on Rumax.
What's that? 'Cause that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna help.
Frenzy's trying to make the move now.
So it's Frenzy around the outside onto the old pit straight.
Let's see. Still not quite enough.
Is getting close.
There's a Red Bull
Andreas is
round.
closer. He is past. So a group who drops down into 2nd place as Night to Sniper picks up a 3-second penalty.
I think oh, Evan, he's dropped a few. Did he have a spin, or was it
I
just?
think that's Night Sniper round.
It is Night Sniper again. He's that was out of Beckett's. I think He's almost broke that gap.
Yeah, within half a lap, he's nearly pulled the second gap. So I think he was almost toying with Agrupo, just holding on.
I think, yeah. Yeah, there we go. And Night Sniper retires in the pits. But that's the DRS trace is well and truly gone now. I think this is where we could potentially see Andreas
So
just
Johnny
drive off.
Stokes has managed to get past Lister. There's Lister at a moment because he's dropped 2 places there.
I'm not sure. I mean, he's had James go past, but he seems to still be.
Johnny and James have got past him, and there's 5 seconds between Johnny and James. So I get a feeling Lister's had a moment.
If he did, he recovered from it very quickly.
Andreas gets the fastest lap of 30.4.
Oh, and Womax is going into the pits.
That's an early stop unless he's carrying damage. Are they standing by? Doesn't look like they're standing by with a wing.
It doesn't look like there's it doesn't look like there's any damage either.
So Hobo up into 6. Womax comes out in 13th place.
And he's come out on fresh hards.
Yeah, he's got to try and make one. 17.
17 laps?
It's doable if you're gentle with them.
This will be the. We'll see. We'll see whether his wings. See whether or not he is running that low downforce. Sorry, the low wings. See how quickly he reels him in.
Does close that in very fast down that straight. I know the DRS helps. He's coming in.
Oh, and he's diving in.
Yes.
I wonder whether the mediums are genuinely starting to die.
I'd say I'd have a look, but I can't because I'm not in control of the screen and my app don't work on this.
Can I do it? Is there any way I can?
Have you got SimHub installed?
I don't.
It'd be a nightmare to try and do it mid-race because downloading the dashboard after you've downloaded the SimHub app and then setting it all up on your PC.
Yeah. So, Hobo up to P5.
Lister comes out behind his teammate down in 12th. Johnny's starting to drop off the back of a Grupu now.
Yeah, I am keeping an eye on it up the top here. It's just with the gaps being what they are.
Evan and Carl are fairly
really
very close onto the DRS straight.
Let's see what happens. Will Kyle fight him?
No, you can bet they're in a part.
Oh, he's in the pits as well. I think they must be. I think they must be dying.
Yeah, I think from memory the game says to pit lap 12. The pit window's 12 to 17. But depending how hard you push in, obviously you can, and what your setup is as well.
See, with how bad the hards are in the first, say, lap or two, especially for getting the heat, I Maybe the overcut would probably have been.
The overcut does work.
Yeah, I think.
So I pitted.
It's probably what I would do.
Monday. Ludifer was either in front or I can't remember if he was 1 up or 2 up on me, and he pit 2 laps before I went in. I came out and I was clear in front of him. He did say he had a moment during his outlap, and I generally take my outlaps fairly steady on the hards to try and build the temperature into them, but I did push a bit more Monday night as Kyle's in.
There's Kyle in and Johnny's in.
So that puts James up into second, Hobo running third.
Let's see this. Super Hobo.
Yellow through.
Ashvin retired. Was that
Safety car
in the pits?
This is going to help.
No, it's.
That was.
It's
Ashwin's
down.
Out.
Yeah,
this is going to help Hobo. Hobo needs to pit now. It's going to be restarting on the hards, but it's going to potentially gain over. Yeah, it'll come out ahead of Johnny Stokes.
Which would, now depending on if Frenzy follows him in.
Frenzy will wait till the next lap under safety car to pit. That's Frenzy's. He doesn't pit on the first lap of safety car, he pits on the second. Andreas comes in. He's surprising.
That's very early for the hards. We'll see what tyres they've got.
James is in, Hobo's in, Frenzy. Oh, Frenzy has followed him in.
Okay, so Andreas on some mediums.
James is going to be on to mediums. They're going to be looking for a late safety car.
Yeah, surely these are going to be relying on another safety car.
You're halfway, 13 laps. Hobo's made it 13 laps on the mediums. Couple under safety car.
I suppose.
They will do it. They just need to make the most of them at the restart. So Hobo is staying. Just gets
and
in
Johnny,
before the white line.
Oh.
But allows him. It must have been right on the limit, because
that must have been very close. Lister
comes up into 8th, having pitted those few laps ago. This helped him, but Frenzy's got in front of Lister. Moylan's come out in 13th. Zodak's in. Rumax has stayed out. So James is now the. I was going to say lead Aston Martin, but technically the safety car's the lead Aston Martin.
I can't stay on board with that. You can't. Obviously, you might not be able to hear it. But he's got the gear glitch.
Oh.
Where his car's just revving the tits off.
A group who's saying this has been manipulated. No, Michael, no, it is so not fair.
Well, we just. Oh no, we got Zodak as well. I'll say we've got.
Right, I'm going to take this opportunity to run into the house and go to the toilet. I will be back.
No worries.
I should have grabbed
What's
that
that?
bottle of rum while I was in there.
Should have grabbed the rum.
So it came out lap 12. No, everyone's with it, so we might get safety car in this lap.
I think it should be in this lap because Zodek has just joined the back of the pack.
Hopefully see the notification as we come on to the hangar straight. There it is.
Safety car in this lap. Nice and early. Let the tyres get the heat into the tyres, especially to the guys on the new hards.
So Hobo, Johnny Stokes, a group who's sitting in fifth, but he's got the pace to get through the grid. Andreas has gone very early. Caught James out quite a bit there.
Caught James, yeah. I mean, it also caught. I mean, it caught everyone.
Hobo picks up 3 seconds.
Let's sit here for a minute because I think these Johnny and a group who will want to get past Hobo as quickly as possible.
Hobo's still trying to get heat into those tyres. So I wonder if Johnny and James have jumped in a party.
Yeah, I'd imagine they probably would.
Still get the RPR and DXT logos on the stream, even though it's on share screen. Hey, why am I doing that? Why don't I just put that on full screen? Because watching this through the TV, it's really blocky. Watching it on my stream, it's absolutely crystal clear.
Oh, Evan's got involved here.
I've now got the race on 3 screens. The same race. I wish there was a commentator's option to have a split screen so you could be looking at 2 different elements. Mrs. Cole picks up a 3-second penalty.
It's corner. Moylan's making a move. I think
So Hobo down into 4th. That's going to help Johnny because he's going to be holding up a group who.
Yeah. And he's still.
Andreas is checked out in front.
Can he hold? Yeah, Andreas seems to have gone. Does Hobo hold? Where's the detection line for
It's that's
there?
the activation point. The
Not that's the
detections at.
activation. Sorry. Did he get it?
I don't think DRS is.
No, he didn't.
It'll be this
It
lap
stayed.
DRS becomes active.
Oh, it's no. Yeah, it's this lap now, isn't it? It's,
29.2 for
still
Andreas to
putting
take the
in.
fastest lap so far.
So DRS involved is now enabled, but
Hobos.
the top four aren't within range to.
Evan's going to be one to watch here. He's just on the back of a group as they come round the loop. So is Hobo going to end up losing out 2 places on this lap? Evan having to look up the inside of a group out. Coming through Luffield now onto the national pit straight.
You got Frenzy behind as well, knocking
Frenzy, Lister, all in a little DRS train behind Hobo. Frenzy gaining through Maggots and Beckett's.
He's gained. Well, oh, and he lost it on the exit. Lost the.
Group are looking to go round the outside as they go through Stowe. Holding on, is put him on the inside for Vale. Gives Hobo the inside. A group who has managed to make the move. On the run to turn 1 now. Great view from Evans' car, still side by side. Going through the loop. A group who just gets in front, but this should give.
Oh, is it?
No, group who got the DRS there. Oh, great reaction from Evan to avoid Hobo there, but it has dropped Evan down behind Lister. It's unfortunate for Evan, but I'm sure he'd sooner. Well, he didn't effectively lose a place. He stayed in the same position, but he'd rather that than nailing into the side of a
Then damage.
stranded car.
Yeah. Let's see.
He's got the DRS is slowly closing in, but Lister's rear wing, well, Lister's whole setup giving him great straight line speed. So Moylan now up into 8th and right on the back of Frenzy. That medium tyre giving him so much more grip through turn 1. And has got in front and should have the DRS here as well to try and attack Evan. Moylan carrying penalties, so he needs to make his way up the order.
Yeah. It's only 3 seconds, but
Dropping back to 9th at the minute. So he needs to try and open those gaps out. His biggest problem is going to be Evan between him and Lister, because I think Lister would give him the toe and allow him through on the faster tyre, but with Evan in the middle he's not going to be able to.
one of them, isn't it? And he's got there's 6 laps to go.
So the mediums will last. The hards. So Lister's hards are going to be on 16, so they're still going to be relatively healthy.
Johnny Stokes is almost.
He's picking up the distant toe.
He did. It's just, yeah. Moylan's got round Evan.
So from the constructors' point of view, Aston Martin are going to be leading the standings. McLaren in second place after this. Johnny's gained quite considerable. That's Lister round.
Oh, Lister's off.
That's dropped Lister all the way down to 13th place now.
13th.
Hope that wasn't contact between teammates that caused that. Though the entry to Maggots and Beckett's can catch you out if you carry the wrong line. Moylan straight onto the back of a Group Who though. And gaining through Sector 1, outbreaks into the right hander and is in front. Oh, I wonder who's going to get the DRS.
Oh, there we go. And there's that maybe some team orders there, do you reckon? Do you reckon James slowed up to let Johnny through?
No, I think Johnny's just got more pace on the tyre. Their tyres are fairly even age-wise. But the hards will last that little bit longer. We saw some of the mediums.
This was around the kind of lap. Yeah, the mediums. This was the kind of laps that they were starting to
hit the pits in the first stint.
Hit the pits, wasn't it? It was
lap 8.
It was, wasn't it? It was
yeah,
lap 8 and 9.
9 they started coming in.
Which is
if James can hold on to third place, that is going to be a great start to the season for the Aston Martins.
Through these low speed corners, Moylan's making up. I mean, that was 5 tenths.
So Andreas has completely checked out in front. He's got a 7-second gap now, so he doesn't need to push as hard. He can save his tyres a little.
It's been a
fairly busy,
fairly uneventful. Yeah, busy for the mid-pack, pretty uneventful up the top.
I feel sorry for a Group Who he's been caught out by that safety car, but you can never predict a safety car.
Yeah.
I can't have that running on 3 screens. I'm getting confused where I'm looking. I get a feeling most of my viewers at the minute are people in the race because no one's really talking on the chat.
If he can stay within that DRS
Hobo
range,
past Kyle to put more Hobo up. I keep going to call Hobo Moyland as Evan picks up a penalty, so that will help Moyland a bit less of a gap to try and pull to maintain 4th place. Next one down. Yeah, so that
Still only 3
both
seconds.
on 3 seconds. Group and Frenzy could gain here. Moyland has closed right up onto James though, 7/10 the gap now, so he's going to be in the DRS. James at least will have the DRS from Johnny to help him defend, but if Moyland keeps this pace up, he could be challenging Johnny for second place before the final lap. It's how much he gets held up behind James.
What an end this is going to be.
Johnny's dropped 2.5 seconds to Andreas in the last lap. So Andreas isn't holding back, he's pushing all the way to the end. There's not going to be another safety car now. There's Moylan going around the outside of James, through the loop now, gets the inside line, runs it out wide, gets a bit sketchy.
Oh, he had a twitch.
Both with the DRS. Can James come back on the attack into Brooklands? He can, but Moyland holds on round the outside of Brooklands, giving him the inside for Luffield. That's allowed Johnny to break the DRS, but Moyland pulling it back. Detection points just at the entry to Maggots. Lister has been into the pits and chucked on a set of softs. Is he going for the fastest lap? Moyland running off track there on the exit of Chapel as they come down the Hanger Straight now. James closing in, not quite enough to put a move into Stowe. I'll check later and find out they are the other way round, but
Find out it's the other way around.
I need to find a track map that's actually got the corner names on it for all the tracks. Not that half of them I can pronounce on some of the flyaway tracks. So,
It's always fun
penultimate time coming around the loop. Is Moylan close enough to put a move in down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands? Or is he going to hold out and wait for the Hanger Straight? He is closing in.
He's got 19% to Johnny's 11.
Lister has stolen the fastest lap with a 29.0. He won't get a point for it, but it does take it.
Takes it off of
Andreas
who
had it.
Was it Andreas?
There we go. Hanger Straight, penultimate time. Moyland is closing, but it's
He's going to reel himself in
got
here.
to try and hold on. His mediums are going to be screaming now. James just needs to... Yeah, with Moyland's penalty, James just needs to hold on to the back of him. And even if he gets past Johnny, he'll... I suppose you always want to finish ahead on track.
Looks like Mrs. Carl.
Had a moment coming out the final corner.
Yeah. I think he's holding for the final, for the...
Yeah, it's saved
the
up a bit of ERS as well.
DRS.
Expect to see that overtake button go on.
So he's put it on now. extra 10%.
Using the gearbox to slow him down. And now he's just going to have to give it everything.
This is it. It's now.
Around the outside. Can he hold on? Oh, contact. Oh, James has made it through. Agrupo and Frenzy.
And Frenzy and Agrupo are out.
They just caught into the... Oh, stewards might be busy after this one.
Oh,
I think Johnny got a penalty for that contact.
he just had a fight. He did just have
Unserved
5
penalty.
seconds unserved penalty. That's a heartbreaking end
Oh,
for both of them.
I need you to scroll through the full results.
Yeah, that's fine.
And they just waiting for Lister to cross the line. So Andreas takes a win. James picks up second place.
Driver of the day goes to
Oyland.
I thought it would, and I actually I agree with that as well. That he would be mine if I had to choose. Although the credit does go to Andreas, just from the moment that he started.
A group who didn't realise it was a no ghosting. So I think he drove into the side of someone. If you R1 over to race results, because that has all the time and penalties on it. Next one. That's it. And just scan through that. And then it'll be on the stream. So Evan picks up third, Moyland in fourth, Johnny Stokes in fifth, Carl in sixth, Hobo in seventh, RJS in eighth, Mrs. Carl in ninth. And that's all just confused me. Mrs. Carl in ninth. That's all right. Womack's in 10th, Zodak in 11th, Lister gets 12th. Agrupo 13th, Frenzy 14th, Ashwin 15th, Night Sniper 16th, 17th was Scotty.
And then the overall results for the weekend.
So Andreas taking the sprint win, race win and pole position.
And
doesn't get the fastest lap though. Lister managed to take that, but being outside the top 10 in the feature race, unfortunately he won't get the point for it.
Well, what an entertaining first race.
Was all the final lap was carnage, and my flaming game just being...
Yeah, that was so weird.
Oh, that was mad. But I hope everyone watching has enjoyed that. I've got a feeling some of the people driving that didn't enjoy it. But I'll be back same time, or we will be back same time next week. And I'll be back Monday for the RPR GP1. Comms will be on the DXT Hobo stream on Twitch. And if you do follow Hobo stream, you'll see he's also doing a FIFA League with a difference midweek, so that's worth a watch. AI playing, everyone's just chairman, so they don't get to control the players, but they do get to pick their teams. Well worth a watch if you're into football. I'm not, so that's as much as I'm going to say on it. But thank you for joining me on comms, Vader. Gave me someone to talk to.
No worries.
Alright, now time to go and deal with all the crap that's kicking off in Discord.
So I can confirm the 360s on the formation lap are intentional.
Yeah, I've just seen that. I'll have to look at that in a minute. Right, that's the end of the stream, so I'll see you all next week.